Alright, I am standing in a very precarious spot. This is the bottom of the railroad triple underpass. I am between two lanes of traffic. This is Elm Street, one-way traffic heading that direction, as you can see. This is Main Street, which is two-way traffic heading to and fro through this middle underpass. This is the support between the two, and I'm going to turn it around and show you my view. This is where James Tague was standing when the motorcade was approaching him. So he's watching the motorcade as it is approaching. As you can see, hopefully by now you recognize the landmarks. There is the county courthouse. That's Main Street, where the motorcade turned hard right onto Houston. There's the annex for the courthouse. There is the county records building, in which, according to Malcolm Summers, Charles and James Files, Charles Nicoletti was lined up to take a shot in that building. There is the Daltex building, which is where, according to the arrest record, and Eugene Braden being the spotter for David Morales, that's where David Morales was. Hidden behind these Texas live oaks is the Texas School Book Depository. All right, and here's Elm, and here's the motorcade coming at you. Now, what makes James Tague significant? James Tague was nicked with a bullet. As he was standing here, you can see it on the film, he gets, in pictures actually, you can see somebody standing here, a shadowy figure, and he's grabbing at his face. He got nicked with a bullet, and he went and got medical treatment. And this became a real complication for the Warren Commission, who wants to put out this narrative that one man did all the shooting, and since there's only 5.7 seconds approximately, that means there's only time with a bolt-action rifle to fire 3 times. But they have a lot of wounds to account for. This is why they were so worried about collateral damage, because a bunch of those wounds are not JFK's, they're Governor John Connally's. If only 3 shots happened and one of them missed and hit me standing here, I'm James Tague, that means only 2 shots left to do all the damage. And we all saw one shot take the president's head off. So that shot is accounted for. So that only leaves 1 shot to create a back wound in JFK, a front neck wound in JFK, that's 2, and then 5 more wounds, rear shoulder, front shoulder, right wrist, enter, exit, and then left thigh. Those are 5 more wounds to Governor Connally. And then that bullet allegedly fell out on a stretcher in pristine condition in Parkland Hospital. The fact that James Tague got nicked with a bullet took away one of the shots and forced the Warren Commission to come up with the magic bullet theory, in which one bullet zigged and zagged, went up and went down, turned left and turned right, sometimes in midair, somersaulted, and then emerged after creating 7 wounds in 2 people that were not in lined up positions, by the way, emerged in almost perfect condition. This became known as the magic bullet theory. They called it the single bullet theory. It's the whole centerpiece of the Warren Commission. You take the single bullet theory away, the Warren Commission report falls apart like a house of cards. And they were forced to come up with this because of James Tague, an innocent bystander who got nicked with a bullet. By the way, that's very clear that he could not have been hit by a shot coming from the Texas School Book Depository. Can you even see the Texas School Book Depository building from here? You cannot. And these trees have been trimmed. That shot either came from the Daltex building or from the county records building. We all know Roscoe White only took 1 shot. It was a direct hit from behind the fence. That only leaves those two right there. So this becomes a real problem for the Warren Commission. James Tague was a complicator. Thank goodness.